Hi, my name is Ryan Lane, and welcome to my review channel. So for today's movie, I will be reviewing Army of Thieves, the spin-off slash prequel movie to Army of the Dead. So, anyway, Army of Thieves is directed by and stars Matthias Schweighöfer and a bunch of relatively smaller people, like Stuart Martin. Goose Khan. He was actually in the previous Netflix movie I reviewed, The Bubble. Anyway, so this film It stars Matthias as as Ludwig Dieter from the previous film. He works at a bank and is really intrigued by safe cracking. Anyway, one day he somehow, through YouTube of all things, he gets an invitation to a safe cracking event where he is ultimately recruited to crack three safes, each of increasing difficulty. So, yeah, well, I mean, I will say this, you will definitely know this is an Army of the Dead sequel, spin-off slash prequel, because while you watch this movie, you will wish you were watching Army of the Dead. So let's start with some of the problems. First of all, one, the writing. It's for the characters, they're all two-dimensional and feel more like a bunch of collection of quirks than they are actual characters. The most notable of which is the Ludwig Dieter character himself. He just never really coalesces into an actual character. It just feels like a collection of tics and screams and weird comedic humor. Like at one point, when told about the opportunity to commit crime, he literally says the word out loud, "gulp." It's like, really? That's some of the best you could come up with in terms of material? And unfortunately, this whole two-dimensional trope characterization pretty much applies to the rest of the cast. I feel like the only actor who manages to transcend the two-dimensional material to give a decent performance is Nally Emanuel as Gwen, or the brains behind the operation. I kind of liked her performance. I feel like she's the only one who managed to transcend the material. But unfortunately, that I have to take away some acting points because the film features like this character called let's see here, Delacroix. He's a Interpol agent, and he's basically just your stereotypical cop who really wants to bring in the bad guys and has a personal vendetta. And as for the reason why the personal vendetta, it's kind of weak. And the actor doesn't do well with the material. Basically, the only thing he seems capable of doing is just yelling his stereotypical lines. Let's see. Also, oh yeah, the writing also tries at numerous points to say like, oh, this is like a film where, a spy movie or a bank heist movie where they go over the heist plans and how it might go wrong, but in this case, it actually will go right. It's like the film's trying to be like, hey, if we say that we're using these tropes, the audience will let us get away with it. Nope. Yep. Nope, it does not work. At least not for me, anyway. Also, the writing tries to take a Zack Snyder style approach to going into character backstory, but it doesn't really fail to drum up interest in the characters. Like, I mean, it does the bare minimum to establish backstory for characters, but that's it. Let's see. Also, the action, the titular heists themselves, I don't know, they're not very interesting. They lack a certain amount of tension. Like, I will say, I mean, they're not entirely awful. I will say of the latter two heists, there are not the entire heists have tension, but there are moments in the tension, in those heists, particularly near the tail ends of said heists, where it's like there's some decent amount of tension. Particularly regarding one character's attempt at escaping the heist, and in the final heist, the actual opening of the heist. So yeah, it does generate some tension there. Let's see. Oh yeah, the film tries to establish a love triangle between Ludwig, Gwen, and Nick Cage, the meathead leader of the group, but it sort of falls flat because like none of these characters really have any romantic chemistry with one another. Let's see, what else? What else? Oh yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, like I said, the film contains numerous references to Army of the Dead, and yeah, it's like, and supposedly there's one reference that's like, oh yeah, because of what's going on in Las Vegas right now, this is the perfect time for the heist. It's like, sure, yeah, okay. I mean, again, like I said, the writing is by far definitely the weakest part of the film. Um, Also the score, like the film sort of tries to go for a bit of a whimsical type of score. Like in some places it works fine, like when it's introducing Ludwig Dieter's somewhat boring routine life in his hometown. It's like, okay, fine, but in other places, like during heist scenes, it's like, really, this seems kind of out of place, much like the Ludwig Dieter character to begin with. Um, yeah, let's see. I will say this. One slight improvement this film does make over the Army of the Dead film involves the safe cracking itself. Like in the Army of the Dead film, the film kind of yada yadas past the safe cracking. Yet with this film, I mean, it actually sort of goes inside the safe itself to show the inner workings and what happens when our main protagonist fails to open it correctly. I will admit it does offer some needed tension, but of course this is also counterbalanced by the fact that every time he opens a safe, Ludwig goes into like this monologue about the story that is inscribed on the safe, and every time he did that, I was like, ugh, get on with it already, open the safe. So yeah, with all that in mind, thanks to cliched writing and a lack of tension-filled heist scenes, and I will be giving Army of Thieves 1.5 out of 5 stars. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day.